Hey there, Rebels fans, it's your old pal Gooti, or Andi Gutierrez if you're not into that whole nickname thing, coming at you from Lucasfilm headquarters. This week, the Rebels encountered the scrappy Iron Squadron crew, and now I'm here to show you how it all came together. This is Rebels Recon. Above Mykapo, the Ghost encounters a fearless crew calling themselves the Iron Squadron, successfully attacking an Imperial transport alone.
They just bombed the Imperial transport with cargo?
Aboard their ship, Hera and Ezra try to convince Iron Squadron's captain, Mark Matten, to join his Uncle Sato's rebellion.
You can't stay here and fight the Empire alone.
But after Mart refuses the offer and leaves his crew with the Rebels, he's ambushed by the Empire, and it's up to the Ghost to save him.
You guys came back!
What do you expect?
We're the Iron Squadron!
This week, we saw the Ghost crew team up with the Iron Squadron to go against the Empire. I sat down with cast and crew to talk about what it was like bringing their iconic ship back into Star Wars, why the crew is so headstrong, and get a little more information on the inspiration behind these super cool characters. In Iron Squadron, Ezra meets a group of kids fighting the Empire on his own, much like he did before he was a part of the Ghost crew. How do you think he can help them grow?
Well, the Iron Squadron, they're all based on cool people in Lucasfilm, so there are already stakes to that episode because you got to do these characters justice. But he feels a closer connection with them than most people right away, just because it's one of those cases where you see another version of yourself and you automatically relate. And they're doing the same thing he's doing. They're trying to fight against the Empire.
How long do you think the Iron Squadron has been fighting the Empire on their own?
Probably not too long before we meet them in this episode. Mart's father, who is the brother of Sato, he got killed by the Empire on Mykapo. So ever since then, Mart took it upon himself to take action and make sure that the Empire doesn't do this to any more people. So he formed his own group of rebels and called themselves the Iron Squadron.
They haven't been there long enough to even know what a Star Destroyer is. They've taken out a few transports, probably strafed some ground forces.
They have no idea that there's this larger scale battle beyond their particular neighborhood. So they're feeling pretty confident in what they can do in their area, but they need to be educated on the ways of the larger galaxy.
Since Gooty's name is a reference to me, did you use any elements of my look in designing her? Same with the other members of the Iron Squadron?
You mean John or Jin and Mart Matten?
Yeah.
Mart's hair was the whole thing. I mean, that didn't go through too many changes. We knew we were going for some kind of Ramones 70s look for Mart. Johnner was probably the trickiest one. We went back and forth on Johnner. And then Gooti, because she was Thelan, a lot of that was going to be driven by what we know Thelans look like. So there were options to sort of play with hair color and stuff, but as far as horns running down the side of the head and the dots and stuff, that was sort of locked in.
If you look at some of the original story ideas for Star Wars, the end battle against the Empire was going to be, in addition to there being Wookiees involved, there was going to be this sort of Lost Boys group of kids and just a bunch of youngsters that would join the fight against the Empire. Ultimately, that didn't happen in A New Hope, but that idea has always been in there, this core idea of a bunch of young kids leading the fight against tyranny.
So is that ship actually the Outrider as made famous by Dash Rendar, or is it just another YT-2400?
It's just another YT. I mean, you might think of those as the Chevy vans of the galaxy. They're everywhere. There's different paint jobs and different colors and different decals.
So Rebels isn't the first time that you've drawn the ship that the Iron Squadron in.
No.
Yeah, you worked on it a little bit with Shadows of the Empire.
I did work on it for Shadows of the Empire. I really liked how it was similar but different to the Falcon. It's just the smaller, more compact, slightly sleeker version. I didn't initially come up with the design for that ship. It was originally a Doug Chang design. It was a lot of work actually, because vehicles and environments take more time than anything else. They have to be a little specific for a TV show. We can't do sort of a shot-based solution like a movie where the outside doesn't necessarily have to perfectly hook up with the inside, and we have to make it, and then whatever it is what it's going to be.
I was recently talking to Doug Chang about it. It was actually designed for the special edition of Star Wars, and because Shadows of the Empire was in development at the same time and was in need of a ship, they plucked that design and assigned it to Dash Rendar, named it the Outrider, and it became this real thing for fans who could fly it through a video game, play with it as a toy, read it in a comic book. So it has a lot of weight to it. So we were all big fans of it, and we're able to give it some highlight here.
Hidalgo's a doggone good dude. When times are rough around the office, I can always count on him for an uplifting tale. So I hope I'm not barking up the wrong tree when I go ask him your Star Wars questions this week. You know what I mean, dog? Hey, Pablo.
Ed,
Do you have a second for a question?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Charles Hodgman asks, is the Super Commando program a Mandalorian thing, or is it a galaxy-wide program?
It is pretty much Mandalorian. That's how the Mandalorians are kind of expressed in the Empire. Any Imperial Super Commando is from Mandalore, and the armor is designed and made on Mandalore.
All right. Thanks, Pablo.
No problem.
Thanks, buddy. Have more questions about the Iron Squadron or any other Rebels questions you want to unleash on us? Tweet them to @StarWars using the hashtag Rebels Recon, and we'll answer what we can online. Now it's time for a sneak peek of our next episode, and it's a mouthful, I hope I'm saying it right, the Mykapo job.
My friends, haha, it is I, Hondo. I can't tell you how much your welcome warms this old pirate's heart. You are too gracious.
I agree. Especially since the last time we saw you, you abandoned us on that doomed Imperial station.
But it all worked out in the end, right?
Of course it did, because Hondo always delivers. Just wait until you see what my new partner and I have cooked up.
Wait, what new partner?
Now remember, guys, okay? Open mind.
Have you recruited these two-bit smugglers yet? We need to get moving!
Thanks for watching Rebels Recon. We'll be back next week with another brand new episode. In the meantime, check out the episode guide for the Iron Squadron on StarWars.com on Monday, and if you haven't already, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and download the Star Wars app. Thanks again, and may the Force be with you. All right, Mart, Johnner, Space Waffles? Yeah?
Sure.
Cool.